Okay, folks, Trey Gibson here, Big Things Fantasy Football, and we're here for what's deemed to be as part 2, the finale until next year. Let's keep in mind what's coming up on the schedule. We got bowl games coming up. This is a great time for you guys to go ahead and try and view some sleeper picks that will be coming out into the draft next year. There aren't many that's coming out. Right now, off the top of my head, I don't know of anybody. Also, February, we've got the Combine, which will help get out any of those sleepers, and then of course the selection show in April, the Big League selection show, which will show in April, usually the second or third week, which will help you identify who's going to be good on what team. Then we got mini camps, rookie camps, mini camps, and then training camp kicking off at the end of July. And then also in August, preferably the 2 weeks before or a week and a half before the season starts, we'll have our annual selection show for the Big Things Fantasy Football League, in which the night before the draft, you should be prompted to select the keepers from your teams that you have now. So since we just covered the schedule and what is a 365-day season for some of us, let's go through the selections as we see it as the top 10, let's say top 10 selections, and what can be deemed as the NFL, not the NFL, excuse me, the Big Things Fantasy Football League selections. And we have coming in at number 12, who had a productive year this year, should be available at the 12th spot, and we're looking at Buffalo Bills running back Marshawn Lynch. And number 11, another running back, the big bruiser from the NY, Brandon Jacobs. And at number 10, I know there's a little drop off between the last couple of years. It's an electrifying pick if you can get it at the number 10 spot. It's a gamble anywhere else, and I'm talking about number 10, LaDainian Tomlinson will probably have a new coach out in San Diego. Number 9, the number 9 selection. We're running out of running backs here, going down to the meat. We're talking about Tony Romo, who has very productive fantasy seasons over and over again. At number 8, stepped out of the box this year, solidified himself. Could go higher, but I see him as a number 8 fantasy pick. Great value here. And I'm talking about the running back for the Atlanta Falcons, Michael Turner. At number 7, though he's back, injury never stops the ability as well, or should be back, excuse me. Injury will never stop the ability as well as the supporting cast, and that's quarterback New England Patriots, Tom Brady. Number 6, and with his supporting cast back, if Brady has to go in the top 10, there should be no reason why Randy Moss can't fulfill that number 6 spot. He's still got great fantasy value this year, and with Brady back, you gotta think that's gonna hop up. At number 5, running back who sustained himself throughout the year and actually has proven that there is still tread on the tires and can still do it. And I'm talking about from the Washington Redskins. Clinton Porter should be a great pick at the 5 spot. He had a great season this year. And at number 4, not a breakout season, just a season that we expected here at Big Things Fantasy Football, with a revamped offensive line, a great quarterback at the helm who probably won't be there next year, and that's definitely Thomas Jones. You know, we actually said 12 touchdowns, and he's already broke that barrier. He's up to 14 now, and he's running like a champ. Number 3, and the number 3 running back, you can't overlook the production of this running back year in and year out. He's a definite producer from the pass, definite producer from the backfield. A little bit of injuries might have hurt his value, but he's still great production at this level. And I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, Brian Westbrook. And at number 2, yes, the number 2 person who will go off the selection board early is DeAngelo Williams, who had a great season. You know, he's definitely proved why the Panthers have gotten rid of all their running backs. Jonathan Stewart will still be there, but DeAngelo Williams at any time can go the distance, 50, 60, or 70 yards. And number one, you can't take a chance on this. You know who this is, and I'm just talking about pure speed, power, and will. As a third year, you got to be skeptical. This is when the injuries start to set in. You become a marked man. Everyone starts to, you know, adapt to you a little bit better because there's more tape on you, and that's Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings. You can't go without picking him up first. If you don't pick him up first, you're only getting what you asked for. So now that we've rounded out the top 10, or excuse me, the top 12, let's throw a couple of notables in there who may not be on this list, but definitely will have great value. The first notable I wanna definitely speak about is the fact that, you know, has a good quarterback next to him, has a good quarterback next to him, and after a full year training camp in the system, he probably will be a lot more productive than he has been in the last 2 years. And I'm talking about Roy Williams, wide receiver of the Dallas Cowboys. He's definitely going to make a huge impact next year with a lot of time under his belt with Tony Romo. And, you know, another person who's going to make a huge impact that a lot of people won't look for, they won't know, they won't think about him. You know, it's definitely not going to be a number 1 pick. It's not going to be, you know, maybe a number 2 pick, maybe a number 3 pick at best. But if you don't know by now, then you're probably not living on Earth. Matt Castle is in his last year of his rookie contract. I look for Matt Castle to do big things next year. I look for him to be in 2 different places. 3 places. 3 places where I can see Matt Castle. One place will be a long shot, I think, and that's Kansas City. Kansas City's quarterback situation still can't get hashed out. The 2 places where I see him, now they're kind of even, but I know how some of you may feel, but I could see Matt Castle settle in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback dilemma, or even better, Brett Favre is 60 years old. You know, there's a history with Patriots and Jets going back and forth. You know, Mangini's trying to get that team up. He has a lot of expatriates on the offensive line. I'm talking about Damian Woody and a couple of other guys on that offensive line. So I would not doubt it if you saw Matt Castle steal Brett Favre's money next year. I can see Matt Castle getting a 4-year, $65 million contract easily with the New York Football Giants and playing against the Patriots twice a year, and just Eric Mangini making Bill Belichick upset by keeping those players in the same division. So there you have it. You got my draft draft picks. Let's go through who's drafting where now, shall we? At the number 12 pick, we already know the bad news cock blockers have deemed themselves champions. And with that, we'll go right on down the line. Number 11 is the Harlem Giants. Number 10, the Illegal Aliens. Number 9, the Tampa Bay Gibsonians. Number 8, the Hartford Hustlers. Number 7, the West Up Go-Getters. Number 6, West Coast Riders. Number 5, the Chicago Dream Killers. Number 4, the Detroit Super Geniuses. And number 3, Team Stanovich. Number 2, Roughing the Passer. And number 1, that head coach probably will be replaced in the Connecticut Legends. So we'll probably have a newcomer coming in with a number 1 overall pick. I'm Trey Gibson, Big Things Fantasy Football League. It's been a great year. Stay tuned. You might get captions throughout the year about who does what in the off season. Have a good off season.